Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm still in the book doing my thing. We're gonna talk about set the ego, not the bad guy. Let's rock. Right in. This is part two. I had an issue with part one. I hit the wrong button. I took the hate, so I'm following up from part two. This is gonna be part two. All right, let's go. Right isms. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, okay? And those who know and know not that they know is just spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to might not be true. All right, I'm gonna finish up on P Funk's philosophy here. Set is the ego, but not the bad guy. Let me break it down for you again. This is Set. He even got a pet. See that? But he's an unusual character. Remember, he's a mythical character made up to just make a point. You don't want to be like him. He can't reduplicate. He can't produce nothing. Okay, so let's talk about him. Now, I just gave you a lesson. We'll start from the top. Now, right here, Set, and that brings us to the Set character. Let's talk about him and what he represents. This is what you need to understand, right, thinkers. Notice that unlike Haru, who is related to the avian quality, meaning aerial, he can fly, Set is related to the four-legged animal, and he earthbound. So he is earthbound and thus related to the heavier elements like earth, metal, stone, etc., as opposed to Haru, who can take flight. And thus he's capable of living on earth, but also attaining the communion with the air and fire. So this means that Set represents that what is gross, while Haru has the capacity to operate in the gross as well as in the subtle. Okay, he's good on land and air. Following this metaphor, the human body is its name are the grosser aspects of one's personality, while your ba, which is inside your body, your spirit, your soul, ak, which is the spirit, the ba is the soul, ak is the spirit. One is saying, no, they're two different things. That's what you need to understand. And watch this. And they are subtler aspects of your personality. As we said earlier, Set is egoism. Not ego per se, but although he does have an aspect of that is which is ego, ego is the projection of your own ideal of yourself. Your ego, Carl Jung got it better because we can identify with it modern times. Your id, your identification card, who you identify with. That's the ego self. That's the human self. That's what a lot of people go through life and don't get no better. But that's just the human part. I'm gonna break it down to you again. That's your ego self. What you know of yourself, again, that's all inbred as a limited being. I'm a human being, okay? But that is your ego, the idea who you are. That ego is the image of yourself in what time and space while in the body. And your ignorance, as well as your wise, have egos. So those who are ignorant have egos. Wise men have egos. I just have mine under control. When you don't have control of your emotions, aka your ego, you can't claim self mastery like me. The question is, what is egoism? Again, eat potatoes for you, coming right at you. Let's go. So, when you live in a state of ignorance, not knowing yourself, and a lot of us are, but we live in a belief system which we believe in things. So about we ignorance about our higher self, but they teach you to believe in something that's outside yourself. Ain't rolling with that. Let's get back to this. So you don't know of your other aspects, your transcendental aspect, your internal, your immortal, your godlike aspects. Now, if you became excuse me, now if you become egoistic, what happened? You start living as if what this is the only reality. You only go this way once. Okay, that was his philosophy. But in a way such that you should seek pleasures just to satisfy your own personal desires. That's selfishness, nepotism, all of these kinds of things are negative qualities of your personality that we all possess. That is egoism. And Set represents really both of those, ego and egoism. So the mother of Set was New. His father was Gad. And in the beginning, he was, listen to this, you gotta pay attention. He was Ra's servant. Okay? He used his energy, and he got a lot of it, and was to serve Ra in the Paute. He is known as the Pahet Ah. Pa, it means strength. Paetai, it means double strength. That means he twice as strong as everybody else. South familiar, Hercules, okay? But he is the twofold strength one. He got 2 times the average strength from average man. But I means great. So that means he's great in his strength. And he uses his strength to move the boat of Ra. When you have good, you can use it for good and your intentions are pure, you're good. When you take that same good and manifest it for selfish gains, that's your ego. That's egoism right there. But now the boat of Ra, which moves through the sky, it don't roll on the boat on ocean. It's fly as a sun disk. You got a flying boat in the form of a sun disk sitting in it, and it shines. And in doing so, serves the need of sustaining life on Earth. They're telling you about the sun. They're giving the sun an identity. They're giving the sun a reason for you to understand it, learn it, and get comfortable knowing that thing up in the sky is the true savior. All right? But the idea of how you get across the sky, he pushes Set, pushes the boat through the clouds out the way, and even in the rain. So Set, watch this, was a great and powerful force. Pay attention. For good. Right there. I told you, Set ain't the bad guy. He's the ego, but he ain't the bad guy. Pay attention here where it turns you. Now, he was powerful force. He used it for the good and for sustaining life. But, there's go to but, something happened. Something went wrong. And he became a different person through that change of what went on. Some people call it the fallen man, some people call him or whatever. But what happened was, in the Asar resurrection myth, the story, we are told that he became jealous of his brother Asar. Now he had everything in his own rights. He had the desert. He was powerful in his own right. Yeah. But all of a sudden, and see, I know the other story. There's another story where Asar slept with his wife. Now, if you tell that story, and when he kills him and sends him down now, that makes a little more sense than just saying, well, he killed his brother because he was jealous. And that might not be enough to swing the pendulum in that favor. That's what I'm saying. But if a man, your brother, sleep with your wife, now you got cause and effect. So, cause he did that, effect, I got to do this. So, again, there's 2 different stories, but that's the way it goes. But bottom line, the story tells you the idea that the ego will kill the spirit. Okay. And then he murdered his brother, who represents the spirit, the soul that's in all of us, our Father. We are Haru. And Set is our evil uncle who killed our father. And he'll kill you too if you allow him to. That's what we're about to break it down to you. And he wanted to take his brother's place and to assume the throne and be the king of Kemet and become the ruler. And he no longer assisted both of Ra. He done got bigger. Remember, the ego edge got out. He bigger than Ra. He done edge. I ain't got time for that. I ain't working for you. I'm doing my own thing. I'm an entrepreneur. He went into his own business, so to speak. But now he actually fought against Ra. So he joined the Apophis crew, the dark side, like Darth Vader did. But he wanted to promote gloom and doom and clouds and rain. That's his thing. He wanted to go back to that aspect. The desert, everything messed up. So, and this is what Set represents inside you. He's your unmoral, unethical, he's your uncouth part about your personality. He ain't bad. He's just a little rough around the edges. You remember them kind of people? They need to be tutored. And everybody thought they could change the crazy guy, the wild man entertainment. Remember Tarzan, the ape man, they could civilize and make them civil. Okay, remember that? The black man, he's going to try to teach them how to be like white people. All that nonsense. Okay, but that's where that comes from. That Set mentality. And Set represents coldness, ignorance, jealousy, envy, and nothing of warmth or goodness. That's your ego right there. You know them kind of people who only want for themselves? It's a bunch of them. They haven't went nowhere. And this been ancient times. They still going to do that. Okay, don't much change. All right. It is said that these things is of his own form as a composite zoomorphic body of a man who has the head of an undetermined animal. Don't know what it is. That's mythological. We can't put a thing on them. Okay. But mythological in this undetermined animal as well as it's in the form of a fiend, or what we know to be what demon called Baba. Now, on the flip side of that, a Baba is a grand master, a person of intellect and knowledge and understanding. But here, a Baba, which is one that has his own forms, and another form is what they call Ak. Now, in this form, he is now a winged beast that harnesses, okay? The griffin, he's the one that comes, he got the lion body, but he got the eagle talons and the lion claws and the lion body, but he fly, he got wings, okay? They call him the griffin, all right? Or the gargoyle, someone call him gargoyle. But this uncharacteristic and rare form with wings may be considered as what they call an opposite and as the nemesis to what? Haru's earthly avian body figure. So they're going to be connected to the same body, but the head's going to be different. They're in the same person, which is you. And in the Ak, Set has not lost his forelegs, nor has he made a full transformation to the avian form. See, he only got one form. He can change into other animals. Watch this. So therefore, we consider this form only in the earthbound mode of the Satanian character, like a bird that can fly in the atmosphere of the world, but cannot leave the boundaries of the planet's environment. A form of that opposite is to Haru, earthly form, but not Haru's transcendental form, which is when he becomes great. Means great. He was born Haru so we are all born to be great. The philosophical concept is that we are the sons and daughters of God, Haru, the spirit that's in us, and when we die, the spirit go back to the Father. But it's something you got to do while you're here in the physical form. Mastery of oneself. And that means all aspects of your character you have to learn to master and become great within oneself. That's called the Great Uja. That's the wing disc, the two serpent around it, coming out the sides, send this. And he weaponized, how about this? He transformed into a pig. Right here. He done got on the boat, okay? And you see right here, the baboons chasing him away with sticks. That's Tahuti in his baboon form, chasing away what? The ego. This is all conceptual, esoteric teaching, but it's all pertaining to you and how you can manifest your concept for yourself. All right, it says here, where we at? Down here at the bottom. So Okay, the Baba, which is a good thing in one term, but negative in this aspect. So now, like a bird that can fly, we did that. Okay, the pig. He also can turn into a pig. What do you mean? He's associated, and the pig is associated with what? Filth. I got a phrase that I learned from my pastor. But right, you can't get in the mud with the pig and claim not to be a pig. And I take that to mean if the ignorant person is getting ignorant and you get ignorant with them, you can't claim not to be ignorant. So I had to stop arguing and doing that back and forth jousting nonsense. So I got that from my pastor. But this is the concept he got his from. I'm learning about this. Like I said, the pig associated with filth. And it is this concept. When he is in the battle with Haru, he what? He threw excrement, pig shit, at Haru's eyes and messed up his eyesight. Okay, blinded him. Okay, that's the concept. And so from ancient times on, this is why they don't eat pork. I wonder if the Muslims know that story. Is that the reason why they shouldn't eat pork? I'm sure they got a story about the pig that they discovered and tell you why they don't eat it. But here they tell you why they don't eat it. Okay, for this reason. Of course, there are psychological reasons. Again, poison, pig, there, yeah, we know the story. Okay, but I never forget when master teacher John Henry Clark was hanging out with Malcolm, and Malcolm, because he eat almost and chitlins and pig, he said, you call him the pig eater, right? Swine eater. So that was the other person joke going back and forth. So as a teacher and an educator, smart man, didn't joust back and forth, argue, no, he just made his point. You know, Brother Malcolm, if we didn't learn how to save our lives by eating this pig to, keep nourishing, you wouldn't be here. So give respect to the pig, even though you don't eat him, respect him because he kept us alive at one point in time. Yeah, and you got it right to pick and choose as you get older to do what you want to do. I eat pig. I eat pork. Simple as that. Moving on. I ain't got to say this. No, I'm not a Muslim. Ain't trying to be, ain't wanting to be. But yeah, I ain't a Jew either. Jews don't eat pork either. They got their reasons. Again, everybody got a reason for what they do and don't do. Man. It's hard thing killing me. Sorry. All right. But this is the the mythological reason. Go on the story to make the point. Furthermore, set your ego, make the eyes of your soul cloudy, opaque, and tainted. He ain't trying to help you. He ain't trying to help you. Understand that. Here we are referring to what? The capacity to be able to see what? The truth. And not just the physical capacity to see worldly objects, but we want to see what? The internal, the third eye, the spiritual truth. They got a picture I just showed you, the pig with Tahuti chasing them away. Now we got Apep. Apep they call it. Okay. That's this guy here. I showed you this before. This is Apophis, the big serpent. This is Ra's boat. Everybody in the boat is freaking out because they see how big he is. See the guy still fighting? Yeah, that's your ego. That's set. He don't give a damn. Good or bad. He fighting. That's what he do. Like my man said, I do one thing. Like the Spartans. My man asked the guy, he said, that's all you got? I thought you would bring more warriors. He said, we got 1,000 men. He said, what you do? I'm a potter. What you do? I'm a blacksmith. What you do? I'm a farmer. He said, Spartans, what do we do? Ahoo, ahoo, ahoo. We kill, we kill, we kill. So he said, see, my friend, I think I did bring more warriors than you. So you got these ragtag. No, they ain't coming to do job. Why? We come to do one thing. Kill or be killed. So that was the motto. And when you're hell bent on certain things, you see it through. Simple as that. If you believe in it, stand on it. Go with it. So down here is showing you. Now Apophis is that great serpent I just showed you that fights against what? And he tries to stop and destroy the boat of Ra in the underworld. We see Ra going across the sky. It's just him, Mayat, and Tahuti. All he needs is order and his mind to think and function. So he good. In the daytime, he's shouting like he's doing his thing. But when he get in the west, when he got to go into the underworld, he call his boys. Okay, he needs some help. Why? He about to go do battle. Simple as that. You going to go fight. What did the family do? Call the family. I had a group of family back in the day. If you fought any one of them, you fighting the whole family. You might want to fight them. There's never gonna be a one-on-one, not with them. No. Okay. I was with a group of family that we ran. When they came, somebody in fight, we all fighting. I'm like WRIGHT. If I'm with you and you in a fight, we're gonna be so fighting people. Wow, I'm with you. And if you fighting, I'm fighting. Simple. Back in the day, if it was going down, we don't ask questions. We just start swinging. Find somebody look unfamiliar and knock the hell out of them. Okay? And keep your head on swivel because somebody might be thinking the same way too. There's a melee going on. You got to be careful. But again, Ra, which represents evil, he's the real bad guy because he trying to stop. Apep is the real bad guy. He's the one that's trying to stop Ra. Okay, Set just stopped working for him. Okay, I just gave up the job. But when he lost to Haru put him back in charge. So now Apophis may also be considered as what Set's lieutenant. He's doing Set's work, dirty work. So Set has 75 other forms. He can change and morph, make shapeshifters. We got that covered too. See right here. That's what it's showing you. And watch this. Now, and because Ra also has what? 75 forms. So whatever Ra come up, he gonna come up one better. Or whatever he come up, Ra gonna want him better. So that's how they're going back and forth. And so they both have 75 names or forms to fight against Ra, 75 names and forms. Okay, competition. That's the sun and darkness. They've been at it since the beginning of time. Okay, it's a fact of life. So the darkness fights against the light. It's a natural. Okay, you got 12 hours of daylight. Now, just January 21st, like this month, I'm January, but June 21st, that's gonna be the longest day, and that's the longest day where day is longer than night. And then come October, it's gonna balance back out where what night gonna get a little longer, and your days will get shorter. See the difference? So that's nature. Okay, moving on. But the 75 native fight between light and dark. But you gotta remember, Ra is a form of Haru, the higher spirit that's in me and you. So the conflict is ultimately between who? Haru and Set. That goes on inside you. I'll call it the moral, ethical battle that we all have to deal with. Asar lost. You, Haru, got to defend your father's loss against your ego. But it is also between you, the aspirant, and the tendency towards what? Darkness. Star Wars did it best. They had a perfect example. I tell you, that's Darth Vader, that's Luke Skywalker. Moving on. But there's darkness, and darkness represents ignorance, okay? Within you, as a spiritual aspirant, you need to what? Come to the light. Come out of the darkness. Why? That's where ego dwells. That's where that other guy dwells. And remember that the main weapons that you have to use against your ignorance and darkness is what? Sunlight, the rays of Ra, the light, the warmth, the heat, the truth. And these are all weapons that Haru uses at his disposal to harpoon Set, who had turned into what? One of the dangerous animals in the Egyptian pantheon, the hippopotamus. Hippo's a bad man. Don't want to mess with her. And the one that keeps Set under control is the hippo. They got him in star constellation. She holds her job is to keep Set. Twaret. She the one hippopotamus with a knife. And she the one that holds Set down. She don't give a crap about him. Okay. But the sun rays is your defense against your evil uncle. That means your knowledge and understanding. All things that's good, that's what you use against the ego self. But also, we are told that Set is what we consider the backbone of in every human being. So Set is in all of us. You don't pick and choose. Understand that. So if your backbone is controlled by your ego, there you go. That means that your caduceus, your life force energy, asset, and that means your serpent power energy is now going to be corrupted. Ding, 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 ding. Your bad intentions, your evil doings, that's all called corruption. So remember what we said previously, that Haru is the divine solar child. We're born from divinity. And we have 7 aspects in us as which are reflected in what? Ra's 7 souls. We call it the Safak Bara. I get a lesson. That's the Kundalini. That's the 7 chakra system that's in us also. Bara is the Safak Bara, the seven souls of Ra. But that energy, we call it the serpent power, okay? But that energy, the backbone, is to be harpooned, and it is to be shackled, and it is to be transformed by who? You, Haru, your higher self. You got to corral him. You got to put his ass in check. Y'all been fighting, and that's going on for 80 years. So he ain't giving up. You got to beat him. And remember that Haru harpoons Set, who is what? In the form of a wild hippopotamus. They say, wow, the only time a hippopotamus go berserk is if you mess with their kid. If you mess with one of them pups, you got a problem. And they all coming. Okay, not just one, they all coming. So they're very territorial about that. And protecting the young. Even in the nature, protects the young. Now, what symbolizes, he was a wild hippopotamus, but that symbolizes how uncontrolled your lower self can be. It will tear stuff up. It will make some troubles, okay? While when it goes to storming, anybody in this way, suffering, okay? But it's interesting to note that the symbol for the word UA, that means one. In the ancient Egyptian hieroglyph, is represented by the harpoon, okay? See how they tie everything in? And as in what? The netter, Ua, Ya, Nuaf. That means God, the only one, the greatest one. Everything comes from the one. He's the greatest one. Nothing greater than he. Again, nothing in the world. Yeah, that's what they getting. They got it from us again. And so in other words, God is without second. No mate, no opposite. But only thing opposite to God is when you what? You go against him in opposition, you become the devil. That's why I say, well, God, why he created the devil? No, he created good and evil. So there would be a choice. We call evil Isfet. Mayat represents order and righteousness. Set just represents the ego, the uncouth character that's inside all of us that we need to control. That's the concept. So thus, Haru spears Set with oneness, which neutralizes what his multiplicity. He can't change. He can't transform now. Okay, so that represents his separateness and his opposite nature, which is what? Evil. If Haru is good, he got to be evil. The spirit was good. He was opposite of him, evil. So which lead to separation, individuality, and that's called egoism. When you are self-centered, all about you are egotistical. Let me wrap it up with this one. I'm going to take it on in with this. I got something else to do, so it's going to be a little minute. Work with me. Okay, but there is a hippopotamus, the goddess named WRIGHT, where her main duty is to capture Set and chain him and control him. But WRIGHT is an aspect of your character. She's in defense mode. She can protect you against the ego Set. That's all she do. So turn her loose and she'll take care of your ego. Okay, if you can't handle him, let her get him. But this goddess in the form of Aset, in the form of Aset, and that's his nemesis. Set and Aset don't get along. Okay, so the WRIGHT aspect of Set keeps him in check. But you got to notice phonetically, the names of the two divinities who are opposite. Set means to shoot out. He came out the side way. He didn't come out the vagina. He poked his way out through his mother. Okay, and that's called shooting out, ejecting. And Aset means the royal throne, the abode where one stays. She is a healer as well as that which puts back together. Remember, she found her husband Humpty Dumpty for the wall. She put her husband back together again. But notice also that phonetically, Aset has the same name of Set in her name, but she symbolizes controls and sex. She controls the control over Set, and that is why Haru must study her principles. That's who taught Haru, okay? And in order to defeat Set, Set is also known as the what? Kapesh. Okay, that's another concept of the star constellation. I'll bring it to you right quick. Can't get around it. This is the star constellation. This is Kapesh, the leg. That's Set's leg. He represents that. And you see right here where she's pulling what? Set's leg. She's holding him. He can't go nowhere. Okay? She has him in check. That's the concept they use for that. Now, I got to go skip over here because I got to get this last part. I got to get this in. This is the forces of entropy. I keep telling you, this was going to solidify the concept of Set right there. Set right there. He's the bad guy, right? He was bad. But now he's what? Fighting the real bad guy. Okay? Let me break it down for you right quick. Entropy. The Netherrealm religion here is no concept of evil. It, as conceptualized in the Western culture, why we don't have no devil. Rather, it is understood that we have forces of entropy in which are constantly working in nature to bring that which has been constructed, that which has been made into a form back to the original nature state, natural state, undifferentiated matter, back to the noon. Our apophis want everything to go back to where it was before it got to where we are now. So the serpent Apep, apophis, who who daily, every day, tried to stop Ra's bolt of creation in the primary symbol of entropy. This concept of entropy has been referred to as chaos. Okay? Not evil, not bad, but chaos. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff can go on. And from the Western Egyptologists, however, the term entropy is a more accurate reading of the teachings. Why? Because this is a picture showing you Set protecting the boat from the forces of entropy, which is evil, symbolized by what? The serpent Apep or Apophis. Ra represents light. Apophis represents darkness. They are natural enemies. Oh, let's talk about it. So, as expression that previously in Netherrealm religion, there is no concept of the devil or demon, as is conceived in the Judeo-Christian, Islamic faith and traditions. Rather, it is understood that the manifestation of detrimental situations and adversities arise as a result of unrighteous living, unrighteous actions, and these are the consequences that come with that. We call it karma. These unrighteous actions are due to your Satanian qualities of your human being. Set is the divinity of egoism and the negative qualities, the uncouthness of one's character, which will arise from your own ego self. It's in you. You have to gain control. Egoism may also be defined as the idea of individuality and is all based on self-identification with one's body and mind only as a being who one is. One has no longer awareness, no deeper awareness, consciousness of their deeper spiritual essence, their true self, and thus no understanding of their connectedness to all objects, including persons that's in creation and the divine self, ignorant of who they are. Watch this. So when the ego is under the control of your higher nature, watch this, what happens? It fights the forces of entropy like above. He's going to fight the real enemy. He just didn't know that you wasn't the enemy. When he find that out, he'll fight with you for you. Okay? And watch this, he won't give up. However, so when ignorance is beset with ignorance, when you are beset with ignorance, it will lead you to the degraded states, doing negative things, knowing that they bad, still doing it, of your human existence. Those are vices. And the egoism is selfishness, extrovertedness, wanting, sexual desires, lust, jealousy, envy, greed, gluttony, etc. Those are all negative qualities that you can eradicate from your character. Once you recognize them in you, you're supposed to correct them. And are all a result. So the principle of Set is not inherently evil. He ain't the bad guy or bad. Told you that. But when the duty is ignorance, when it takes over your personality and it forgets its true self by not knowing itself, it can turn to egoism, selfishness, and greed. And those are the causes of the bad things that people can do to each other, the world, and to themselves. So we are in turn that force. To turn that force of Set, that negative, around and place it in the service of Ra, which we see him doing there, fighting off the real bad guy for service of what? One's higher self. Ain't no better servant than Set when he's serving the right person, and which is his higher self, which is Ra. And by using it to fight off egoism, the real true enemy, and the negative desires, which is what our purpose represents, not Set. In that way, we will succeed on that path up the tree of life with what? To help Set, conquering him and using him to your benefit. Since Set or Seti was originally a divine power that empowered the power to assist what? The divine. He worked for God in the beginning. And who had what? Lost his way. They said what? A saint ain't nothing but a sinner who fell down and what? Got up. He got up. Okay? Or every Thanksgiving, every Easter, he got up. Set, got up, so to speak. Okay. But the idea for you to subdue him. And he is seen as a divinity of evil, like the devil, again, from the Western religion concept. Rather, he is really a redeemed character, a bad guy turning good, personality that lost his way and was brought back to the path of truth. Sound familiar? Everybody's story who did wrong is their story. He not that story. Why? He never did right. He stayed wrong. He Darth Vader. He never came to the light. He stayed on the side of what he chose. And I ain't mad at him for that. That was who he was. But there is proof and facts that Set names was used in ancient Egyptians most prominently by the pharaoh Seti. Ooh, that means the one. Seti the first, who had the name of Set incorporated in his title. This could not have occurred if Set was considered to be Imako, meaning evil, an evil personality, the devil. He was as a beneficial personality when properly mastered. I told you I use my ego self to get me up when I don't want to get up. That's when I use it to my benefit. He don't run nothing. But when he in charge, he gonna do what he gotta do. That's the concept. When it's mastered correctly, he's your best worker. And as outlined here again, he therefore is the metaphor for all those who have had some point in their time lost their way. Okay, whatever excuse, don't need to hear that. But for everyone who have done it and who have moved away from the divine, God don't leave you. You leave him. So if you want to come back, he always opens his arms and walks you home. That's what they mean by all forgiven. He understands. So yeah, he's always there. So for those who can regain their standing by allowing the Haru in you to fight off in order to learn the truth and live by it, in so doing, you now, the aspirant, can redeem your place with Asar within yourself. And thus you have attained what we call higher consciousness, spiritual enlightenment, aka Nihas. So as Set is an important divinity to have. We have discussed about him in the previous lessons, and we will discuss more about him, but Set in future lessons. But Set is who you want on your team. Okay? You just don't want him running the team. You get the concept? Hope you enjoyed the lesson and had some fun with this one. This is one of my favorites. Okay? A good guy a bad guy turning good. First he was good, he went bad, then he went back to being good. Good story, good concept. Hope you enjoyed it. That's the lesson of Set. I got to go. No, it took a little while, but you know how we do. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never none of my right thinkers who understand Set was the ego, but not a bad guy and passed away. I'll be back.